A bit of the garden inside. Are you confused? Well, Matt will tell you more.
I have, but it's all down to Blue Peter gardener Claire Bradley.
Hey.
Claire, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
Great. It's nice to be indoors rather than in the wet garden.
Well, you're indoors and you brought a lot in with you.
I did. I've been raiding the garden and all the hedgerows.
Yeah.
I've got lots of lovely leaves and foliage
To
make this
what
a
are we gonna
beautiful centrepiece for your Christmas table.
Look at those.
Ooh.
Absolutely
Well, I
fantastic.
really like natural decorations. You know, I like things to look natural. And for this, you couldn't get more natural than 2 old terracotta pots.
Yep.
Plant pots. The older the better. The cracked and dirty
Look at the
doesn't
character in there,
matter.
very
Yeah,
nice.
loads of character in that. But you need one big one, and then you need one small one that will fit on the top like that. Okay.
Yep. That's
So
for
we're
the
going to
candle
decorate
then,
around the
isn't it,
side.
lovely?
Now, because there's always a hole in the bottom of a flower pot, you need to put something in the bottom just to stop any water running out and ruining
fair
your
enough.
best Christmas table. And then, as we're going to use fresh leaves, which are going to be kept moist to keep them lasting a little bit longer, we need to use something like this. This is florist's foam, and it holds water. So we've got to cut that to fit in there. So we pop that in there.
Right, so how high do we want it to go?
I want it about 2 centimetres above the rim of the pot.
2 centimetres about there, then we'll make a mark there.
Yeah,
Take
cut
that
it
and
off.
cut this. You might want to get an adult to help you with this bit because it's a bit tricky.
Quite
but
easy to cut
yeah,
through,
it does
isn't it?
cut easily. So there we are. Which bit was it? I can't remember. That'll do. I
That'll
think
do.
this was it.
Squash it
Yep,
in.
that's the one.
Fine. Okay, now we've got to get this little pot to sit on there. Right, so there's a rather clever way of doing this using cocktail sticks. Okay, and I've got 3 here and there's some tape there.
Yep, got this.
And if we just put these along there and you tape them down,
Okay, how many do we need on here?
I think 3 will do the trick. And it makes just a little prong that
Yeah.
will go into the
Well, this
foam
is
and
going to hold
keep
that
it
candle, so
sturdy.
it does want to be nice and steady on top of
does.
there. So that should be perfect.
That's it. And then that
And let's see
goes
how it fits.
in there. And press down. See, that's quite sturdy now.
It's very nice.
Right,
Okay, now we
for
need
the
to
fun
decorate it,
bits.
don't
We
we?
need to decorate it, and we can use all sorts of things. This is fur. You got some there,
Yeah,
and
I've
just
got some here.
snip off some nice bits, little bits. Okay, and trim off some of the lower leaves,
Yep.
and stick that in all the way around. And you could use offcuts from your Christmas tree, I guess.
But
Couldn't
not
you?
too many. Otherwise your tree would look very sorry over Christmas, so don't take too much.
But you normally need to trim off a couple of branches from the bottom, don't you? So
Yeah,
you could do
of
that.
course, yeah.
So fur looks good. I mean, you could really use anything that's evergreen in your garden. Any leaves
Like
that are
ivy,
green
things
at the
like
moment.
that,
Yeah,
or-
we've got ivy and holly. And if you get the flowers on, this is adult ivy, and the flowers are rather nice. Look, these I just finished. This about to make berries.
They are nice, then.
Flowers are finished. And they look good. It's a little contrasting
Yep.
effect of leaves.
I'm going to stick a little bit of holly in here
And
as
holly's
well.
lovely. And if you can find some with berries, even better. But you really need to take your time doing this, don't you, Matt?
Absolutely, you want to get
Colouring
hand
it
with people cutting them
slightly.
into big bits because these things are extremely sharp. So how long is this going to last then, Claire?
Well, once it's all finished, it'll probably
Oh.
last about a week.
Right.
Well, this is one we've sort of
That's
spent a
what
bit
it's
more
gonna
time
look like,
doing.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
this has got the base in. And,
About a week, did you say, yeah?
About a week, yeah, because there's some water in there, so it'll be taking up moisture. I think about a week, as long as it's not too hot.
And that foam absorbs a bit of water as
Yeah.
well, doesn't it? And all that
Yeah.
sort of business as well. Lovely. Okay, so how do we decorate it a little bit further?
Right, a little bit further, I think you can use nuts, you can use cones, fir cones, these are little larch cones.
How do you attach them on, though?
Well, these are quite easy. You just take a bit of wire, a short bit of wire like that, and that goes around the base, and then just twist it
Oh,
at the
yeah, so you
bottom,
can stick that into the
and
foam.
then that can be stuck in there. And then apples, I really like apples. They're sort of quite natural looking.
Bit of
These
colour
are,
as
these are
well,
small coxes, and with these you just put a point in like that. You can stick that one in, and stick that in at the front. And you could use lemons, or you could use limes.
Oh, wow, look at
And
those,
is there
yeah.
room for that one in there?
All
You
that
can
sort
have
of
this one
business as
coming up.
well. Look at
There.
this, very good.
Look,
Now
the
then,
limes
if we want to
can
start
go.
decorating the top, what do we do there?
Now for the top, we need to put a candle in.
Right.
All right, so the candle wants to go
Stick a lime
in
in there
like
as well.
that. But to keep that sturdy, what we really should do is pack it round with moss.
Just normal moss from the
This
garden, is
this
it?
is, yes, sphagnum moss, which you can find in your lawn, or you might find it in woods growing under trees in nice damp places. So
Okay.
that will wedge that in nicely, and it doesn't matter if a bit's sort of poking out the top because it looks really
This is quite a big
nice.
candle, though, isn't it? You can use smaller ones, as we've got.
Yeah,
in
if
there,
you want to do
isn't
something a little bit simpler with a smaller candle, then they're just single flower pots,
Yep.
not 2 layers with a smaller candle in, and for that, because it's too small really for apples,
Yeah.
I've used radishes instead,
Oh,
which
lovely.
looks quite good. And you can use the hips from roses, you can use little twigs
Loads
with
of
bits of
colour.
lichen on,
And
anything
also,
you want.
if you've got a bit of a silver theme or anything like that, or maybe gold, then you can cover them in glitter or those spray paints that you get.
You could go glittery and tinsely.
Possibilities are endless, really, aren't there?
Yeah, it's
what
good,
a wonderful
isn't it?
Christmas
I like
decoration for your
it.
Christmas table.
I think it's lovely.
Now then, Claire, before you go, you've got a little bit of news for us, haven't
Well,
you?
I have. I'm afraid I've decided to leave my regular job of being the Blue Peter gardener, Matt. Ooh, it was a really hard decision. I've had loads of fun, but...
But you have got a very good reason for it, haven't
Well,
you?
I've got a very good reason. I've taken on a huge challenge of... we've got a ruined house, which we've just bought, with a massive garden that goes with
look
it.
at that.
And I've got a really large walled garden that's it's just a field at the moment. And the house, we started work on the house already, but it's going to be a while before it's looking good.
Well,
And the garden will take me, I think, about 5 years before I feel I've really got going on it. So
Well, Claire, we
I'm
all
gonna be
wish you.
busy.
We all wish you all the best
Thank
in that
you.
house. And since Claire joined the programme as our third Blue Peter gardener on May the 30th, 1991, she's appeared on over 140 Blue Peters. Did you know that?
140, I had
a
no
lot, isn't it?
idea, yeah.
And right from the very start, she had her work cut out for her.
How's the garden looking for you at the
It's
moment?
not looking too bad. I think we could do a bit of tidying up here and there.
There are some jobs that the Blue Peter gardener needs to do every year, and every year Claire's certainly got us all stuck in.
Is this something that everybody has to do with a pond every winter?
Well, only if it's as filthy as ours is. Tread very, very carefully. Stuart, actually don't make waves.
No.
Seen a few years' service as this net.
Some sunflower seeds.
All the way down.
3 metres, 6 centimetres. Is that good?
It's sort of respectable.
Make a little hole, pop it in, quite shallow.
You can do the sea lavender, tap underneath the seed packet.
I'm just going to put mine in. And we've got a fantastic crop.
Yes, great.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Potatoes.
As well as doing a fantastic job with all the regular tasks of a Blue Peter gardener, in her 9.5 years on the show, Claire has had loads of great ideas to make sure the most famous garden on television keeps looking its very best.
We're going to have a round, beautiful vegetable patch. Go up there, go up there.
Yes, once upon a time this town was a bit of a garden eyesore, but not anymore. Using natural materials such as wood and plants, we've converted this old metal gangtree into a thing of natural beauty.
After careful consideration, I think that this one is the one for the Blue Peter garden.
Can't wait to see it.
Let's check it out. Like it.
As well as all the chores she's given us in the garden, Claire also travelled all over the world reporting for Blue Peter. In 1992, she visited the Amazon rainforest in Brazil.
This is a dream come true. All my life I've wanted to see a mature Brazil nut tree, and here it is growing in the wild in a beautiful forest. Its dead straight trunk reaches right up into the sky, 40 metres high, and it's 250 years old.
1994 was a particularly busy year for Claire. She travelled over 4,500 miles to Vancouver Island in Canada, where she investigated the environmental impact of the logging industry there.
In an area that's covered in trees, it's not surprising that the logging industry plays a big part in providing jobs and investment.
But that has to be balanced against the cost to the environment.
Also in 1994, Claire visited Namibia in southern Africa to check out the plant life in one of the driest places on Earth.
This is a really weird plant, a botanical wonder, and the most baffling plant ever to be discovered. It's called the Welwitschia, and it grows nowhere else on Earth except here in the Namib, and I've always wanted to see one.
From one of the driest to one of the wettest places on Earth, Claire searched the rainforests of Mount Cameroon in West Africa for new species.
It is incredibly hot and sticky here, and it's like this all year round, making perfect growing conditions for tropical rainforests.
In 1997, Claire returned to Africa. She visited Stone Town in Zanzibar, where all the houses are made from coral.
Ooh, that's a nice one. It isn't living coral they're using, it's semi-fossilised rock coral that's already dead. This piece could be 10,000 years old. But as the whole of Zanzibar is built on coral rock, there's plenty of it about, and all they have to do is dig it up from the centre of the island, which means they don't have to destroy the living reef.
Claire's never been one to turn down a challenge, and earlier this year, Matt and Claire went along to the Prime Minister's garden.
the middle.
Onward!
You see, the problem with football these days is the players. Just when you've got the pitch looking perfect, they want to run all over it. In fact, they're lucky that there's any grass left at all. But that's where the groundsmen come in. Come on, boys, you're on!
Claire also helped to look after the pitch at Wembley, home of English football. In her time on Blue Peter, Claire's been challenged to her fair share of unusual races. She took part in a 2CV rally from Salisbury to Cheddar with presenter Diane Louise Jordan. However, it didn't quite go according to plan.
I think we're actually up here.
Oh, Claire, you're unbelievable.
And she raced tractors in the National Vintage Tractor Charity Road Run around Abergavenny.
This has got to be the best way to see the Welsh countryside. Absolutely fabulous. What a beauty.
As well as her green-fingered skills, Claire has never said no when we've asked her to exchange her wellies and gardening gloves for a silly costume. Claire's left her mark in more ways than one. Earlier this year, she joined us to immortalise her handprints in the garden. Claire's done an absolutely brilliant job of keeping our garden in safe hands, and we're all going to miss her.
You've done so much.
Wow,
Especially seeing it all like that, all in one go.
All the memories
come back.
So many highlights. I mean, seeing the Brazil nut tree was absolutely fantastic. It was a dream. It was just beautiful. But I mean, it is amazing. Well, I didn't realise I've been so many places. I mean, put all together, it seems an awful lot. But you don't have to travel the world to see gorgeous things. And one of the best days I had was at Norfolk Lavender. But I went in the summer, seeing acres and acres of fields of lavender. I mean, that was stunning.
Claire, as you are leaving, we thought we'd get you something very special that you can put in your new garden when you've got it sorted.
That is beautiful.
A Blue Peter ship.
There you are.
Oh,
There you go.
Like the one in our garden.
Oh, thank you.
Pleasure.
We hope you're very happy, Claire.
That's beautiful. Oh, that is so gorgeous. I've been eyeing up the one in the
And look,
it's
there's
so
the
beautiful.
flowers
The one in
for
the
you.
garden. Oh, that's lovely.
Till you get yours growing in your garden.
Look at that.
Oh.
Oh, that is going to take pride of place in my garden.
Now, although Claire's giving up her job as our full-time gardener, we're going to stay in touch, and you're definitely going to keep an eye on it to check that we're taking care of the garden.
I will. Don't you worry about that. Yeah.
So, Claire, it's time to say thank you and goodbye. It's been great, though. It has been.
Thanks again. Thanks ever so much.
Lovely
Now
doing
then,
it.
it's time for us to say goodbye to you, but we will be back on Friday when Liz and I get the chance to play the biggest dressing-up game of our lives.
And we'll also be joined by the Sugar Babes.
So, we will see you Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.
See you now.
See you.
Bye-bye.